Okay. Hello everybody, welcome to another book session review. So I got this video idea after reading the latest book, which is this Prince of Glass and Midnight, aka the Disney Prince novel. There's so much like series in like the Disney book universe. Like there's a Disney Princess Council book series, and this one's the Prince. And so I thought it would be fun if I do like a little ranking of the Cinderella spin-off book that is based on the original movie. So I can't believe I read like 4 perspective of like what their perspective is during the movie. So today we're going to be ranking, of course, boom, this one is A Prince of the Glass and Midnight. This is through the Prince perspective, or aka Prince Charming. And another one is boom, this one's a new one. This came out this year too. Boom, so many Cinderella story. This is the Fairy Godmother Enchanted Tale. This one is another brand new series. This is the first one out of the series. It's like magical object and stuff, so we'll talk more about it. And then of course this came out last year. Boom, I did a review about this in my channel. This one is The Wicked One. This is through, again, the perspective of Cinderella's stepsister. So this is like the another book series of like the Disney Sidekicks kind of. I don't do it for Gaston for next year, but yeah, so this one is the stepsister version. And lastly, the one that started it all is boom, the Lady Tremaine. This is the Disney villain series. This is part of a different universe, and this is through the Lady Tremaine's perspective, aka origin story. These are all basically origin stories of the different Cinderella characters. I know there's one of the mice, but I think that one is more like its own thing. It's not like an origin story. I might be wrong, but so these ones are like spin-off from like based on the Cinderella movie. But again, what's different about each of these 4 books that they're all very different. All the characters act so differently from each other. And would I recommend reading this? I mean, it's up to you. If you really, really love Cinderella and you love the lore and you want to go deep into it, go for it. I feel like if you read this, you'll just be tired because they always repeat the same story over and over again. So how to start with this series, not a series, but like how to choose a character that you are interested in. I would suggest, of course, watch the original Cinderella, the 1950 version of Cinderella animation. This is what it's all based on. And then choose a character that you're interested in. If you're interested with the villain, Lady Tremaine, the Prince Charming, the stepsisters, or the Fairy Godmother herself. If you have those questions, these books will most likely or try to answer them. So yeah, so further ado, we're gonna do a ranking, and let's talk about my least favorite book cover. I gotta go with this boom. My least favorite book cover is the stepsister. This is the Wicked Ones, or the Dark Ascendant series. I mean, I do love the art design. I don't know, it's just very simple, and like it's a great like aesthetic. I do love the Disney novels aesthetic. They're very like great book covers. I don't know, this one is just like not really like my favorite. I mean, I do like, it looks like arts and craft, like similar if they were to make their own book. And it's like the book cover, and when you open it, it's like purple. I don't know, this is like my least favorite, and like, I don't know, it's very simple. And yeah, my third one is this is the Fairy Godmother. This one came out this year. This one is the origin story of the Fairy Godmother. It has, honestly, you didn't know this is like a Cinderella origin story until you look at the glass slipper, because like this is the younger version of the Fairy Godmother. And like, I do love the little art style. It honestly looks like a Disney Plus TV show series, which I think Disney should make. Honestly, I would watch it if they're running out of ideas. But like, so I love this little book cover, and it's very tiny. This is like the tiny, it's literally like the same level as the Disney villain series. And yeah, this one, it has a little bit of flair. This is all black and it's purple, and I do love the thing. I love like how purple is of like the book inside. So yeah, this one is the Fairy Godmother origin story. This is my third favorite, and of course the second favorite is, I gotta say, is the Lady Tremaine. This one is very simple. It just has her face on it. It's very appealing. It looks a Disney villain origin story, and I like how when you open it, you see her being angry and stuff. The thing that I wish that, as I said in this review a long time ago, is I wish they had the entire like portrait of her, because this is a book cover, and like, so I just love this little book portrait, and it just looks good in part of your collection, and you can do this. Yeah. And then my favorite book cover of them all, I couldn't stop looking at it. It looks gorgeous. It is the Prince Charming novel. I do love this novel, like, book covers. They're honestly like, this is supposed to be like a rom-com kind of through the prince perspective. I love the little Cinderella where all the princesses have like this one. I think this is like honestly my favorite. Like, I'm so excited to read this. I just wish this was like a movie. This is honest. It reminds me like those like 50s and 40s like golden age movie poster. This is what it reminds me of, and I just really love it. And it has like glass zipper. I have all two of them at the back, and they just look good together. See, these are like the most gorgeous Disney book cover ever. Like, it's gorgeous. I love the theme. It's midnight, it's blue, and yeah, I just love it. I love this book cover. I was like so excited to read it. I was just very attached with the book cover. So yeah, those are my rankings of the book cover. Let me know in the comments below which one is your favorite book cover of them all. Okay, so now let's start the actual video. This is my ranking of my favorite and my least favorite origin story of the Cinderella spinoff. I'm gonna start with Boom. Unfortunately, it is the fairy godmother origin story mix about it. Like, I was so looking forward to this book. Like, I was so excited to learn more about the fairy godmother origin story. Again, I just hated how, like, it's kind of interesting to learn more about like how the magic came from. It's a little bit like sad. Like, of course, there's like tragedy that happened. You'll understand how she is, you know, in the movie and stuff. This is the author of Jen Kaniti. I'm sorry if I pronounce her last name, but she's the author of like the Twisted Tales series, and you can go a little. I just wish that this book is kind of like similar to Disney Villain, because it makes sense if it's all like the same universe, not like its own separate thing. The book cover is gorgeous. I don't know. I just wish that this was a better, like, I don't know, I was a little bit disappointed. I feel like it just led more answers instead of the answers that I got. I mean, the book cover is gorgeous, and like, I don't know, it reminds me of like the Wicked origin story, kind of. Like, she goes to like a school. It's a little bit like Wicked origin story, and yeah, like how it's just the lore of fairy godmother and stuff. So it even came into Cinderella later towards the book, which happens all these book series, but like it was a little bit slow paced, but it didn't pick up towards like in the end or whatever. But I was a little bit disappointed with this, but which is so sad because this is a really great one. I mean, I was really looking forward to this one. I mean, I'm happy to have this in my collection, and it's the fairy godmother, so I'm so sorry. That's so sad. Anyway, my third one was going to be Boom. I know. The last two are like the ones that came out this year. It is the third installment of the Disney Prince novel, A Prince of Glass and Midnight. You can read these three on its own. They are on its own book. I think this one is the better one out of like the three. I feel like this one you can feel the chemistry between Cinderella and Prince Charming. His name is August in the book. And oh yeah, by the way, the fairy godmother's name in this book is Renee. His name is August. So I like how in the prologue you begin with reading like the letter, and it's so romantic. It's very heartbreaking. You kind of like root for them, and like it's kind of nice to see a little bit through like. Sometimes I feel like this book is more like what happened after Happily Ever After versus like I forgot this is happening towards the middle of the movie, like the middle of the actual original story, kind of, and everything just makes, you know, towards sense. I didn't really like how Lady Tremaine was portrayed in this book, kind of, but I do love the chemistry between Cinderella and Prince Charming, which the author did such a great job with that. Well, her name is Ella in this book, and you learn more about like the Prince Charming. I love how you get to find out like what happens, another alternative, like what happens after that specific moment towards when she, you know, wear the glass, of what happened after that. So they expand on this in this book, which does a very, you know, great job. And you know, I just love the letter aspect, and it's very romantic, and I think this one has like the best chemistry with the Disney princesses out of the three that I read for the Disney novel Prince novel series. And yeah, I love the chemistry, and this one's like a great one. you know, that's why she's top 3. It's great. You actually learn stuff about him. You find out like why he doesn't remember her. It's like, you know, it's like some sort of spell. That's the point of this book. But yeah, I would totally recommend it. You know, I would totally recommend it, and it's a great gift if somebody loves Cinderella, or especially Prince Charming, loves a little bit of romance. This is like a great, and also this is a beautiful book cover. Like, it's gorgeous, and I had a great time, even though it's top 3. But yeah, so second place would have to go with, boom, it's the Stepsister. I did a little deep dive on their own separate video of the series instead of the first 2, but like this is the second one. Again, I love learning stuff about the Stepsisters, and so, this is something that I wish that this was in the middle. Like, I feel like this is like a spin-off versus, like, I forgot, it's like an origin story kind of, and you learn more stuff about these 2 sisters, and I felt like it's, I don't know, it's a very like tragic tale. Like, it's tragic, especially, you know how it ends towards their fate in the original movie and stuff, and it's just more like they all have one thing in common, is that they're scared of their mother, which is, we totally relate to that. And I love how each chapter is different. They're going through, you know, they all have like their own side quests, you know, basically. And you know, this is a great like addition to learn more stuff about the Stepsisters. And I don't know, I remember talking, it's just sad. It's just like they're living their own version of Cinderella, like how Cinderella went through towards the beginning of her story. So it's very sad. You're kind of rooting for them for happily ever after, but like, yeah, I don't know, I just have a great deep emotional connection with this book when I first read it. So there's that. And the number 1 is, of course, boom, is the Lady Tremaine Cold Hearted. This is like my favorite, one of, I think, top 5 I put in this ring, I forgot, for the Disney Villain series. I strongly recommend it if you really are fascinated and interested with the Lady Tremaine story. This is a little, you can kind of read this on its own. It's just that you'll be a little bit confused with the odd sister involvement with the story, but like, I remember how Serena does a great job making the hero kind of like the villain of the story. Again, this is a different like point of view where like you actually really felt bad for her and how she became the way she did. And it's a very like, this is definitely the darkest out of like the 3. I feel like this one, of course the villain ones are the dark ones that they all go through, but I think this is like the darkest out of like the 3, which I, you know, personally like. This might be a little bit of hard read to read, especially when you go through like abuse and stuff, especially that why she doesn't love Cinderella in the first place, or why you know, she's really like against her. And you know, I just have a very like deep connection with this book, and this is why it's my favorite like Cinderella spin-off origin story of the Lady Tremaine one. Yeah, you learn stuff about like how they met, you know, it's all the same, but like I think this is like my favorite version of the Lady Tremaine story. And yeah, that's why it's my number 1. It's just, it's such a strong development. You learn, it's like a great like origin story of the Cinderella universe and stuff. So yeah, these are my rankings of the Cinderella spin-off book that is an origin story, because they literally come up with all of them and stuff. So let me comment below which one is your favorite. Have you read all these 4? Which one are you planning to pick up? And which Disney like guys would you like them to do an origin story of, you know? Interested in my point of view, especially the Lady Tremaine one. So yeah, let me comment below what do you think of these book series and stuff, and which one's your favorite character you want them to do next. And I'll see you all on the next book session. Okay, please make sure to subscribe and like if you don't miss any videos like this. I'll see you all next time. Okay, bye! Boop! A dream is a wish. Your heart made. What a great Christmas gift. One of these. Okay. Ooh. So I think it's saying how much people view men in society with being an attractive man, but yeah. Oh, wait, that's it? Okay.